Welcome back to Cityline. With me, I have two incredible individuals who care very, very much about putting food in other people's lives who are food insecure. I'm talking about Sam Cook. She is from the Emergency Food Network, and she is the Volunteer and Activities Manager. Welcome back, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you. I'm loving the poster behind you, Ms. Sam.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. And I love that our other guest, Teauna Young, nodded her head. Teauna, you are the food drive coordinator for the National Association of Letter Carriers, branch number 130. Welcome back, my dear.
Thank you.
As I was saying before we went on, I see you in public and I just want to run up and like hug you. And then I think every single day she has to talk to people. Amanda, don't harass that woman.
I love people though.
You know, it shows. You and Sam both. And that's the reason actually why we're here is because you love them so much. You care about food insecurity. Sam, for people who maybe only know just a smidgen, that is a real word, about the letter carrier food drive. This is an annual food drive every year with the post office. Tell us about the importance of it and what it does.
Yeah, absolutely. So this food drive is a national food drive that happens every single year. And in a typical year, it's actually the single largest food drive in the country. And annually, it brings in about 280,000 pounds for Emergency Food Network here in Pierce County. That is an incredible amount of food. It's our largest food drive, and it really comes at a critical time of year going into summer where food pantries tend to need more donations. And so it's really just amazing. The branch 130, even though the national union decided to postpone the drive until farther in the year, the local branch wanted to do something in May because it's Hunger Awareness Month and wanted to continue doing the drive.
Oh, I love that. And when you said 280 pounds of food.
80,000 pounds, yeah.
I don't have any idea what that looks like. I mean, that number blows my mind. So, Teauna, why do letter carriers and U.S. Postal Service get involved in the food drive so enthusiastically year after year when you have a lot of change you've been going through this last year? I mean, the national level canceled the food drive, but what was it that made you guys go, no, we're going to do it?
You know, honestly, because the need is just so great, even more so than ever, right? I mean, we don't have to reiterate the fact about the pandemic and how it's affected every one of us. But as letter carriers, we've been lucky enough that we have still been going to work every single day, right? So we don't experience that food insecurity. Well, so many people, as a result of the pandemic, you know, the need is just greater than ever. So, you know, the post office, we're there in the community, right? We kind of are, I don't want to say the calming factor, but we're that consistent factor, right? And so even though the world is, I mean, going a little crazy, but we're on the upswing now, we still want to help out our community, right? We still want them to know that we are there for them. And even though we may not be picking up food at every single mailbox, that you can still bring it into our local post offices. So again, it's just in Tacoma, and there's 10 different stations that have bins out there. And I don't want to dissuade people from, if they see their letter carrier, to give them a bag of food, because absolutely, we're going to take that and we're going to make sure EFN gets it.
Oh, you know, that was such a beautiful picture that you painted, because as you were talking, I was thinking, yeah, my letter carrier is the one person I have consistently seen every day that the mail's delivered since the pandemic started. And there are people I haven't seen since the pandemic started. You know, letter carriers are a barometer for how the community does, because you watch us. I mean, and you're right. I mean, for both of you, we have food is free tables now. You know, hunger has been an issue for a long time in our country, and the pandemic has not helped it one bit. So Sam, speaking of that, what kind of food is needed to feed people right now and that you'd like people to donate? Because, you know, your predecessor actually, I should say Michelle's predecessor, was a great proponent of peanut butter.
Yes, that is a great question. And when in doubt, peanut butter, peanut butter, peanut butter, obviously we still love it. It's a great item. And I think just to kind of piggyback off that, it's that high protein items are what we really desire the most, something that you can make a whole meal out of. So, you know, peanut butter is a great example of that because it is kid friendly, it's portable, it's high protein. But, you know, canned tuna, canned chicken, even just, you know, canned meals that you can make a whole meal out of. If you have the option of buying pop-top lids, those are great for people who don't have access to kitchens. And really just kid-friendly items are something that we often ask for this time of year, knowing that we're going into summer. There's always those summer meal programs that are happening that can use more food items that are kid-friendly. And parents obviously really can use all the support that they can get this year. And so really, when in doubt, just think about what food items you would buy for your children or for your family members when you want to make a good meal for them, something really healthy, something really nutritious, and buy double and donate those items. That's what I say.
What a great idea. That is such a great idea. And I love that you have carried on that mantra of basically whatever you would eat, then you donate. Because, you know, we all need fresh, healthy food. So, Sam, 280,000 pounds of food donated each year. Is the need greater this year because of the pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking that. We in 2020 saw visits to food pantries increase by 40%. So that's incredibly significant, knowing that, you know, food pantries are accommodating long lines, you know, more visits than ever. Maybe people have to go visit more often than they had before. And so Emergency Food Network is aiding those visits by distributing more food. So in 2020, we distributed 19 million pounds of food to food pantries. And just to give you a little bit of scale, in a typical year, it's closer to 14 million. So that is a huge growth for us to be able to distribute that much more food. And that's possible thanks to donations. Not just food donations, but also fund donations that allow us to transport food, buy food, and be able to get it to our food pantries. So when you say, yeah, 280,000 pounds of food, I mean, that is like 10 semi-trucks full of food that typically come to Emergency Food Network. And so people that are able to donate this year, you know, every can helps, every dollar helps. The amazing thing about Emergency Food Network is that for every $1 donated, we're able to distribute 5 meals to our neighbors in need. So it really is impactful just to donate as much as you can.
That number always floors me. And I saw Teauna's eyes open wide on that one too. And I think, wow, $1, 5 meals. Yeah. That is the best math I have heard of in a long time. You know, Teauna, our letter carriers, they provide just a crucial first responders service for us, but they also, as I said, are barometers of how we're doing in our community. My letter carrier knew when we got a new dog, of course. But so for you, what does that drive represent for you as a letter carrier when you think about your community and some of the changes you've seen from the homes that you take care of?
Well, honestly, we as letter carriers we like to help, right? We want to serve people, and, you know, we love our customers. That is our number one, you know, great thing about our jobs, right? And so if we're in neighborhoods where you really do see the need, and maybe where you don't potentially see the need, but you know that somebody's lost their job or they haven't been working, or, you know, the mother has had to stay home because the children haven't been in school, you know, you see all of that things, right? And so you know that they need help, right? And this is one of our ways to help, because like I said, letter carriers, we like to help people. This is what we do, you know, we're out in the community, and, you know, we're a public service people, and we just want to help. And going against what Sam says about the monetary donations, you know, at the post office, if you in one, you will see some donation envelopes up there by the retail counters. And so you guys can take one and then send in money to EFN, because money is great and EFN knows how to stretch it out, right? So certain areas we are going to try to target where they're mailing out donation envelopes. So if you know, you can put whatever you can in that envelope to help EFN and your fellow community members out.
Because cash is king, okay?
Right?
And for $1, I can feed 5 people.
Yeah.
And if that's not a good feeling, I don't know what is. Sam, speaking of good feelings, what's your favorite part of the food drive?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that. It's kind of been echoed out throughout this conversation, but I just have so much respect for our postal carriers and our postal workers. It is just the hardest job in the world. There are times that I call Teauna while she's on shift and she's multitasking, she's delivering mail, she's going up all these stairs, there's dogs. Like, it's tough. I really feel like I have so much respect. Throughout the pandemic, like you mentioned, Amanda, they were always there. And so I just love working with our crew, specifically the branch 130. They have just been so supportive and wanting to do this even through the pandemic, and knowing that we wouldn't be able to do our typical way of collecting food and in such a large scale at once, but wanting to spread it out the entire month of May, wanting to add ways for people to donate online, donate in the post offices. It's creating a lot more work for them, but they really do care a lot about the people that they serve and their community. And beside that, I think that the Letter Carriers Food Drive is sort of uniquely a community event. Everybody does receive mail. Everybody has the opportunity to be involved in this, and they're invited to participate in their community in such a accessible and easy way of just donating even just a single can of food to their post office. So I love this event, and I'm so glad that we are doing it, even if it's a little different than how it usually looks.
I mean, and I'm so happy that 130 bucked the trend and said, oh no, not in our neighborhood. We're still having the food drive. So Teauna, remind us once again, where can we drop off our donations?
So, well, number one, at the main post offices. So, you know, pretty much even like in Fife, downtown Tacoma, at the Evergreen Station, Proctor, any place where there's really basically retail service, even out far as Stellacum, Lakewood. So there we will find the envelopes, so you can do the cash donations, or you will also find bins or carts, I should say, where you can fill that up with food. And also another thing that we're doing is just to spread the word on social media. EFN filmed a couple of us letter carriers. And so there's a little promotional video out there. So if you do see it because you're a friend of a letter carrier or a friend of a friend, we all know how that chain reaction works. So we're just trying to get the word out there to say, bring it on, bring on that food.
All right. You two represent some of the most amazing, kind souls. Thank you for coming on here today and helping us understand how just a little donation goes a long way, because hunger exists, hunger insecurity exists because we allow it.
Right.
So thank you for being a part of the solution. Love to have you back on next year, but on the couch, okay?
Please.
All right. We have much more to come on Cityline, so don't go away. We'll be right back.